fastest lap of the race so far with a lap time of 1 minute.
If they can keep up that pace or even improve it, then this could make Ryan Ludick a real challenge for Justin Davies.
The drivers have been working hard to come up with the perfect race strategy. They've been looking at the weather, the track conditions and the performance of their cars.
Now it's time to put that strategy into action and see if it pays off.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
It's a game of strategy now as Keegan Paxton hunts down Melvin Gauss. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
It's not going to plan for Keegan Paxton. They're still behind Melvin Gauss and the gap is increasing. I don't think they have an answer for this right now.
Keegan Paxton needs to pick up the pace for sure, but I don't think they have it in them.
Sean Olivier is placed first at the moment.
Definitely, but they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Sean Olivier has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
A strong showing from Ryan Ludick, who is currently second. It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Justin Davies trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Ryan Ludick. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Justin Davies close in enough to mount a challenge? A solid performance from Mark Guy, who is holding down fourth.
Yes, but they have to keep their focus and drive with intensity. There's still a long way to go in this race.
Impressive driving from Mark Guy, who has managed to extend their lead over Enro Stadler. They are walking away at this point. Does Enro Stadler have anything in reserve? It may seem like JP Brand is far behind, but Michel Rust can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give JP Brand an opening to catch up.
You're spot on, and JP Brand knows that they can't rely on Michel Rust making an error. They have to keep driving with skill and determination, and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes their way.
It's a tense battle for position between Melvin Gauss in 7th and JP Brand in 8th. Melvin Gauss is keeping JP Brand at bay with a gap of 0.1 seconds.
Yeah, I really can't see them holding on to this place for much longer.
Oh, this is getting intense. Keegan Paxton is just a few car lengths behind JP Brand.
The tension between Keegan Paxton and JP Brand is palpable as they battle for P8. No doubt.
Hold on a second. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Things are heating up as Justin Davies closes in on Ryan Ludick. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
The gap between Keegan Paxton in 9th and JP Brand remains over a second, but Keegan Paxton is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 5 minutes? The battle for 6 is heating up as Melvin Gauss tries to catch Michel Rust in P6.
Will Melvin Gauss be able to make a move and pass Michel Rust?
Superb driving from Melvin Gauss, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
Annie, what's the impact of braking development? A setback for Melvin Gauss, who has just been passed. We've got an edge-of-your-seat battle between Melvin Gauss in 6th and JP Brand in 7th, with just 0.2 seconds between them.
It's an intense battle between two skilled drivers, and Melvin Gauss in 6th is doing everything they can to keep JP Brand behind them. The slightest mistake could cost them the position, so they need to stay focused and stay on their game.
JP Brand is in there like a rat up a drainpipe, Annie. Melvin Gauss is not going to be happy about that. The race is really heating up. Mike Ramsey is hunting down Chantel de Jager with everything they've got.
I think they are going to take them.
Oh, the pressure is intense. These three drivers are displaying incredible skill and determination. It's like a high-speed chess match out there.
Absolutely, Mark. The intensity of this battle is unmatched. These drivers are leaving no room for error and showcasing their exceptional racing skills.
It's looking good for Sean Olivier, sitting in first.
Absolutely, and they need to keep driving with determination to stay in that position.
Seems like Keegan Paxton is getting in range of JP Brand. A brilliant maneuver from Keegan Paxton, who has just moved up the field. It's a brilliant day for racing, and the drivers are putting on a show.
Absolutely. What a great race we are witnessing today. These drivers are giving it their all, and it's a thrill to watch them compete at this level.
They're really pushing themselves and their machines to the limit, and it's paying off with some incredible driving.
It's a pleasure to be here today, Mark. You really can't beat the excitement of a good race, especially one as competitive as this.
The gap between Evan Liu and Ernest Heather is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Evan Liu to even allow Ernest Heather to get a look in. Evan Liu has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Mike Ramsey. I expect their only hope at this point is that Mike Ramsey makes an error. It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Mike Ramsey, as they have a big gap ahead of them to close at this point in time.
Every race adds to a driver's experience, both good and bad. It just highlights that Mike Ramsey is going to have to get more serious with practice if they don't want to be outclassed on the circuit.
It's all about consistency for Chantel de Jager, who is currently 13th. While it doesn't look like Chris Foley is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone Lyle Ramsey.
Anything can happen yet, and it usually does. I've certainly seen drivers come back from worse.
The gap between Jamie Ray Nichols and Lyle Ramsey is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Jamie Ray Nichols to even allow Lyle Ramsey to get a look in. It looks like Jamie Ray Nichols is pushing hard to catch up to Michelle Rust. The gap is over a second, but Jamie Ray Nichols is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Michelle Rust? The gap between Michelle Rust and JP Brand is razor thin as they vie for 8th in this nail-biting contest. The gap between Michelle Rust and JP Brand is growing. It's now up to 0.4 seconds.
Michelle Rust needs to focus and keep pushing, even when things aren't going their way. If they can close the gap down, they may be able to bring the fight to JP Brand.
Keegan Paxton is placed 7th at the moment. Things are going according to plan for Melvin Gauss, who is currently 6th. Things don't seem to be going Enro Stadler's way in this race, as that's a big gap they'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here.
It's not over till the checkered flag drops though, and it's important they don't lose concentration at this point.
It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Mark Guy as they have a big gap ahead of them to close at this point in time.
They certainly.
Breaking update. That won't be ideal for JP Brand. This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit.
This is what separates the good from the great. The ability to stay focused and perform under pressure.
What a move. Lyle Ramsey has moved up to 8th. Braking development. Looks like that's a mistake from Enro Stadler. This could be costly. A strong showing from Sean Olivier, who is currently 1st.
Definitely Mark, but they can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep pushing hard to stay in the game.
It's looking good for Ryan Ludick, sitting in 2nd.
That's right, they can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
It looks like Justin Davies has found another gear in the last sector of the race. It's all about consistency for Sean Olivier, who is currently 1st.
Definitely, but they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Sean Olivier has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
The leader has just finished the race. A fantastic result for Sean Olivier.
You could feel the tension building throughout the race, but Sean Olivier remained focused and in control. That's what separates the winners from the pack.
Ryan Ludick never gave up. They drove with heart and determination, ultimately securing a well-deserved 2nd place finish. Excellent focus from Justin Davies to secure a fantastic 3rd place on the podium.
Impressive driving to secure that spot.
Mark Guy, Keegan Paxton, Jamie Ray Nichols, and Lyle Ramsey end in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Coming in 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th we have JP Brand, Michelle Rust, Chris Foley, and Chantel de Jager. Taking 12th, 13th, and 14th is Mike Ramsey, Ernest Heather, and Evan Liu. Starting from pole position is the perfect place for Jean-Olivier to launch an attack.
But they can't let their guard down. The other drivers will be gunning for them.
As the green flag drops, keep an eye on Ryan Ludick starting in second position. Justin Davies has qualified third. The fourth position is occupied by Mark Guy.
Putting that MK1_Golf_GTI_Chalingay into prime position for the race.
Jamie Ray Nichols is placed in sixth. The green flag is out and we're racing. Who's going to take the lead?
The first lap can be chaotic, and avoiding any major incidents is key. Drivers need to be alert and ready to react to any sudden changes on the track.
I think passing is going to be difficult today here at Midball Raceway Normal, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers get on. The tension is high here. No one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap. As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at SRA for making this all possible. Heroes one and all.
I'm looking forward to burning some rubber here, Mark.
Having started in 7th, Lyle Ramsey will be looking to establish themselves in this race. The best laid plans of Mice and Menha Annie, but it's certainly not going to plan for Lyle Ramsey right now as they are struggling to keep up with Jamie Ray Nichols. Things are heating up as Ryan Ludick tries to close the gap to Justin Davies.
The mental game is just as important here. Ryan Ludick must keep their cool while putting pressure on Justin Davies.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Chris Foley trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Melvin Gauss. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race? Ryan Ludick is giving it their all as they chase down Justin Davies in P2. The pursuit is on. Lyle Ramsey is closing the gap on Jamie Ray Nichols, determined to claim P6.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Lyle Ramsey needs to be careful not to overdo it.
Melvin Gauss is running 10th. They're trying to catch JP Brand.
With just 0.3 seconds between them, will Melvin Gauss be able to keep up the pace and make a pass?
Melvin Gauss could be on a charge here, Annie. They have just put in a quicker lap than JP Brand.
As long as Melvin Gauss can maintain that consistency and pace, it will be interesting to see.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Michelle Rust is breathing down the neck of Lyle Ramsey, not giving them any room to relax. Heartbreak for Michelle Rust, as they slip down the field.
Yes, but they can't give up. There's still plenty of time left in this race, and Michelle Rust needs to stay focused and keep pushing.
Disappointing for Michelle Rust, they now find themselves in 10th.
Definitely, but Michelle Rust is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to fight back and regain that position.
Breaking development. Oh my, Jean-Olivier has had an incident.
Jean-Olivier is not going to be happy about that.
While Justin Davies is not under immediate threat from Ryan Ludick, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. Michel Rust wants to get into Melvin Gauss' slipstream. Oh my, Michel Rust has dropped down to 11. A tough moment for Michel Rust, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 12.
Sucks to be them, Mark.
We're watching Anrose Stadler in 10th, and is currently being hounded by Chris Foley with a gap of just 0.2 seconds. It seems like Anrose Stadler has got the bit between their teeth, improving on Chris Foley's lap time there.
The question is now, can Chris Foley respond to that in kind? They are going to have to pick up the pace.
The race is heating up as Ryan Ludick in 3rd closes in on Justin Davies. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. It's a game of inches now as Anrose Stadler tails Melvin Gauss closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
These two are putting on a masterclass in precision driving. Every turn, every acceleration, calculated to perfection.
Anrose Stadler has just put in a faster lap than Melvin Gauss, so that's going to give them something to worry about. Looks like Chris Foley is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control. You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curbs. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
The tension is high. These drivers are showing tremendous respect for each other while going all out. It's a masterclass in clean, hard racing. The tension is high. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? Anrose Stadler wants to close that gap with Chris Foley. Big gains for Anrose Stadler as they move up the field, leaving Chris Foley behind.
Where there's a will, there's a relative.
This is a thrilling battle as Jamie Ray Nichols edges closer to Keegan Paxton in their fight for P5. Jamie Ray Nichols is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Keegan Paxton at the moment. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Jamie Ray Nichols will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. Hold on to your hats, folks. Michel Rust is right on the heels of Anrose Stadler, and we're in for a wild ride.
The chase between Michel Rust and Anrose Stadler is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
Sean Olivier is placed first at the moment.
Yes, but they have to keep their focus and drive with intensity. There's still a long way to go in this race.
The tension is building as Jamie Ray Nichols trails behind Keegan Paxton. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Keegan Paxton hold on, or will Jamie Ray Nichols be able to close them down?
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Keegan Paxton is not going to give up their position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Jamie Ray Nichols in P6 doing everything they can to catch up.
The crowd is on tender hooks as Justin Davies in second chases after Sean Olivier. The gap is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Can Justin Davies find a way to catch up?
This is where experience comes into play. Sean Olivier has been in this position before and knows how to defend their position. But Justin Davies is hungry for success and won't give up easily. Will we see a clash of the Titans?
Things are going according to plan for Mark Guy, who is currently fourth. It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Justin Davies trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Sean Olivier. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Justin Davies close in enough to mount a challenge?
Absolutely. Justin Davies in second will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
It looks like Ryan Ludick is pushing hard to catch up to Justin Davies. The gap is over a second, but Ryan Ludick is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Justin Davies? A solid performance from Mark Guy, who is holding down fourth.
Definitely Mark, but they can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep pushing hard to stay in the game.
I'm sure Keegan Paxton in fifth is starting to notice Jamie Ray Nichols is right on their tail, and is still closing that gap. Can Keegan Paxton, can they hold onto their position?
It's an intense race between these two drivers, and Jamie Ray Nichols is going to have to try something here.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Lyle Ramsey, who is currently in P7. But Jamie Ray Nichols is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Lyle Ramsey.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with Lyle Ramsey in seventh determined to catch up. But we know Jamie Ray Nichols isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. Lyle Ramsey is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
The gap between JP Brand in 8th and Lyle Ramsey remains over a second, but JP Brand is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 7 minutes?
Indeed, the tension is high as JP Brand tries to reel in Lyle Ramsey. But Lyle Ramsey is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Can JP Brand find some extra pace to bring the fight to Lyle Ramsey?
Jamie Ray Nichols is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. The gap between them is just over 0.3 seconds. Can Jamie Ray Nichols close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. JP Brand will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. It's a nail-biting showdown between these three drivers. They're nose to tail, pushing their limits in every corner.
You're absolutely right, Mark. The level of respect these drivers have for each other while pushing their limits is commendable. It's a testament to their professionalism and love for the sport.
It looks like Michelle Rust is all over Chris Foley. I think they are gonna press them through T2 and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, Mark, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as Chris Foley is gonna be aware of them riding their bumper.
They're giving it everything they've got. It's a battle of nerves as they push the limits of adhesion, going wheel to wheel in a thrilling display of racing prowess. Chantal de Jager could be on a charge here. Annie, they have just put in a quicker lap than Evan Liu. Melvin Gauss is on a mission, chasing JP Brand, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
The gap is 0.4 seconds now. Melvin Gauss is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with JP Brand.
It looks like Melvin Gauss is making a move. The gap to JP Brand is now down to 0.3 seconds. A strong showing from Justin Davies, who is currently second. The race is heating up as Ryan Ludick in third closes in on Justin Davies. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. The pressure is on for Jamie Ray Nichols as they try to catch up to Keegan Paxton. A great pass for Jamie Ray Nichols as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Keegan Paxton has lost ground.
Yes, but Jamie Ray Nichols can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
It's going to be tough. Keegan Paxton is a master at defending their position. Is there enough time for Jamie Ray Nichols to make a move? They're going to be even more determined to hold on to that position. It's a battle of wills out there, with Melvin Gauss trying to outsmart and outmaneuver JP Brand. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race? This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Michelle Rust is chasing Chris Foley in P11.
This is where every inch counts. Michelle Rust is pushing hard to close the gap on Chris Foley. Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
Every move counts now as Jamie Ray Nichols works to reel in Keegan Paxton and overtake for P5.
It's a fine line between pushing the car to its limits and losing control. Jamie Ray Nichols is really walking that tightrope.
Even though Chris Foley is a fair way behind Anrose Stadler, they can't afford to let their guard down. Anrose Stadler is still vulnerable to mistakes.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Oh, this is getting intense. Melvin Gauss is just a few car lengths behind JP Brand.
The gap between them is now just over 0.3 seconds. Who will come out on top?
It seems like Melvin Gauss is pushing. They are on for recording their best lap so far this race.
Can Melvin Gauss keep it together?
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. Michelle Rust needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
The race is really heating up. Lyle Ramsey is hunting down Jamie Ray Nichols with everything they've got. Lyle Ramsey is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace.
Can Lyle Ramsey keep it together?
Tactics are clearly going to play an important part in this race.
They are gonna need to look after their tires and will want to keep something in them for the crew.
Braking alert. An impressive showing from Lyle Ramsey, who has gained positions and left Jamie Ray Nichols in the dust. The gap between Lyle Ramsey and Jamie Ray Nichols is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Lyle Ramsey to bring Jamie Ray Nichols into play.
That's right, and Jamie Ray Nichols knows that they have to keep pushing hard and driving their own race. They can't let Lyle Ramsey off the hook.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. The battle for two is heating up as Ryan Ludick tries to catch Justin Davies in P2.
Who will be able to maintain their pace and come out on top?
Melvin Gauss seems to be putting the pressure on JP Brand.
Rubbing is racing. Let's hope they don't rub it too hard.
Fantastic move from Melvin Gauss, who has just gained a position.
That's what we like to see. Melvin Gauss is really showing their class today.
Anyone who says that SRA is not the best racing club on the planet is clearly insane. The quality of driving we're seeing out there on the track is absolutely phenomenal.
I couldn't agree more. It's like these drivers were born to race. They're weaving in and out of traffic, taking corners at unbelievable speeds, and making it all look effortless. It's clear that they've put in the time and effort to hone their skills.
It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that Melvin Gauss must be laser focused on Jamie Ray Nichols's every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
The intensity is off the charts as Ryan Ludick hounds Justin Davies, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. The crowd is on its feet as Jamie Ray Nichols chases down Melvin Gauss through T4. This is where the true champions shine, and Sean Olivier is certainly showing their class in the final sector. It's all over. Sean Olivier has claimed victory in this race with a stunning drive that will be remembered for years to come. Clearly at the top of their game right now.
That was a true masterclass in driving from Sean Olivier. You could see them making split-second decisions with total confidence, and it really paid off. What a performance.
Some might say that second place is the first loser, but Justin Davies certainly doesn't see it that way. They put in a phenomenal effort and should be proud of their impressive result.
Strong work securing second place. Well done.
What a race from Ryan Ludick, showing their skill and determination for a great third-place finish.
What a drive, well-deserved spot on the podium with that performance.
Followed by Mark Guy, Keegan Paxton, JP Brand, and Jamie Ray Nichols in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th is Enro Stadler, Melvin Gauss, Michelle Rust, and Chris Foley. Lyle Ramsey, Chantel de Jager, and Evan Liu take 12th, 13th, and 14th.